Hello students, myself Deepika Prajapati from Computer Department, and today we are going to discuss about the revision of the chapter number 1, Basic Concepts of Data Structure. So dear all students, we have already completed our syllabus about the data structure, and now revision start from this chapter number 1, Basic Concepts of Data Structure. So first of all, here the question number 1 regarding chapter number 1, Basic Concept of Data Structure is that Introduction to Data Structure and Types of Data Structure. So here the answer of Introduction to Data Structure and Types of Data Structure is that the data structure is a way of collecting and organizing data in such a way that we can perform operation on this data in an effective way. And data structure is about rendering data elements in terms of some relationship for better organization and storage. For example, we have a some data which has a player's name. So first of all, given an example regarding player's name as a Virat, age 26. So here Virat is a string and data type, and 26 is the integer data type. So data structure is what? It is nothing but is the way of the collecting and organizing data in such a sequential manner, and that we can perform operation on this data in effective way. So basic types of data structure, as we discussed above, anything that can store data can be called as a data structure, hence integer, float, boolean, character, etc. So and so it's known as a data types, and all are these data structure. So they are known as a primitive data structure. Once again, which data types called as a primitive data structure? So hence integer, float, boolean, character, etc. all are the data structure known as a primitive data structure. Then we also have some complex data structure which are used to store large and connected data. Some example of abstract data structure are such as a linked list, then tree, graph, stack, queue, etc. All these data structure allow us to perform different operation on data. We select this data structure based on which types of operation is required. So we will look into this data structure in a more details later lesson. So dear student, about the concept of linked list, tree, graph, queue, stack, already we have to completed in a chapter wise of this concept. So next, here this one is the classification of data structure. So data structure classified within a two structure. First of all, built-in data structure and user-defined data structure. So built-in data structure contain as a primitive data types such as integer, float, character and pointer, and user-defined data structure contain as array, list, files. List is considered as a two types, a linear list and non-linear list, and linear list also considered as a stack and queue, then non-linear list considered as a tree and graph. So this is the introduction about data structure. Then second question from the chapter number 1. So second question is a primitive and non-primitive data structure. So primitive and non-primitive data structure consider as following here. So primitive data structure are the basic data structure that directly operate upon the machine instruction, have a different representation on different computers. So primitive data structure consider as a normally data type such as integer, floating point numbers, character constants, string constants and pointer come under this category. So it's known as a primitive data structure, and these directly operate upon a machine instruction. Then next, non-primitive data structure. So non-primitive data structure consider as are more complicated data structure and are derived from primitive structure. So they emphasis on grouping same or a different data item with relationship between each data item such as array, list and files come under this category. So this one is known as a non-primitive data structure. Third question from the chapter number 1 is the introduction to algorithm. So here the algorithm is what? So an algorithm is a finite set of instruction or logic and written in order to accomplish a certain predefined task. And we can also about the algorithm definition is that algorithm is nothing but the given a solution in a step by step, providing a very easily step by step the solution from the problem. It's known as a algorithm. So algorithm is not a complete code or a program, it is just core logic. It means solution of the problem which can be expressed either as an informal high level description, as a pseudocode, or using a flowcharts. So every algorithm must satisfy the following properties. First of all, input, output and definiteness. So input consider as there should be 0 or more input supplied externally to the algorithm. Output consider as there should be at least one output obtained. Definiteness, every step of the algorithm should be clear and well defined. And for one is finiteness, so algorithm should have a finite number of steps. And correctness, so every step of the algorithm must generate correct output. Question number 4, key features of an algorithm. So what is the key features about algorithm? So algorithm is a step-by-step procedure which define a set of instruction to be executed in certain order to get a desired output. So algorithms are generally created independent of underlying language. So note that about the algorithm, an algorithm can be implemented in more than one programming language. From the data structure point of view, following are some important characteristics of otherwise categories of algorithm is that the search, sort, insert, update, delete. So search specify algorithm an item in a data structure to find out the data. Sort, it means that algorithm to sort data in certain order, as well as we can also say about instead of data as item. Insert, algorithm to insert an item in a data structure. Update, an exiting item in a data structure. And delete is algorithm to delete an exiting item from a data structure. Chapter number 1 and question number 5 is analyze following terms. Time complexity, space complexity, big O notation, best case time complexity, average case time complexity and worst case time complexity. So here the time complexity is nothing but it gives to needed time for completion a task. So the amount of time needed by a program to complete its execution is known as a time complexity. The measurement of time is done in terms of number of instructions executed by the program during its execution. Thus, the time complexity depends on the size of program and type of algorithm being used. Then space complexity depends on two memories, so fixed size memory and variable size memory. So the fixed size memory, it contains the space required for simple variable constant instruction and fixed size structure variables such as an array. And variable size memory, it contains the space required for the structure variable to which memory is allocated runtime. So it also contains space required while function is calling itself. Then best case time complexity. So best case time complexity is nothing but it taken a very minimum time for performing the task. So it measurement of minimum time that is required by an algorithm to complete its execution is known as a best case time complexity. So the time complexity of the particular algorithm can be calculated by providing different input values to the algorithm. So consider this an example of sorting n elements. If we supply input values that is already sorted, an algorithm required less time to sort them. That is known as best case time complexity. Then next, average case time complexity. Average case time complexity is nothing but measurement of average time that is required by algorithm to complete its execution. So it's known as average case time complexity. So time complexity of particular algorithm can be calculated by providing different input values to the algorithm. And consider an example of sorting n elements. Average time complexity can be calculated by measuring the time required to complete the execution of an algorithm. for different input values and then calculate the average time required to sort an element. Worst case time complexity is nothing but it taken a maximum time to perform algorithm execution is known as a worst case time complexity. So consider an example for sorting an element. If we supply input value that is in a reverse order, then an algorithm required maximum time to sort them. So this is known as a worst case time complexity. Then big O notation, so it is also known as a upper bound, that means the maximum time complexity which will suffer by this program will be denoted by the big O notation. Then sixth number question is that array I row measure array and second is a column measure array. So in a computing, row measure order and column measure order are method for sorting multidimensional array in a linear storage such as a random access memory. So here the difference between the order lines in which element of an array are continuous in a memory. So in a row measure order, the consecutive elements of row reside next to each other, whereas the same holds true for consecutive elements of a column in a column measure order. So while the terms allude to the rows true for consecutive elements of the column in column measure order, then columns of the two-dimensional array as a matrix. So dear all students, this one is the example of row measure order and column measure order. So this is the most important question of our chapter number 1, data structure. So total is 6 question with its answer is the most IMP question answer regarding our GTU exam. So this all question you have to prepare of the chapter number 1. Okay, I hope you all are easily understand about the chapter number 1, basic concept of data structure. Thank you. Hello students, myself Deepika Prajapati from Computer Department, and today we are going to discuss about the revision about chapter number 2. Dear all students, we have already completed our syllabus about the data structure, but now revision of the chapter number 2 as a string. So dear all students, we have to discuss regarding the most IMP question with its answer of the chapter number 2. So here, let's start. We are going to discuss about the question answer of the chapter number 2 as a string. So first of all, the question 1, string representation, reading and writing string. So first, the first question answer is that string data structure. So what is string? So string are defined as an array of characters. The difference between a character array and string is the string is terminated with a special character /0. So you have to remember about string is always terminated with a special character /0. So declaration of the string is as simple as declaring a one-dimensional array. So below is the basic syntax for declaring a string in a C programming language. So this one is nothing but normally the definition about string representation. Then next, second, finding the length of string with its algorithm. So how to find the length of string with its algorithm steps. So this all question very most IMP question regarding our GTU exam. So dear all students, you have to learn this all question with its answer in a proper way. So the answer of the second question is that this operation is used to count the number of characters in a string. So in order to count number of characters, we have to start counting from the first character in a string. So which is considered the first character in string, its index size of array as a 0. So the process of counting character is repeated until null character is encountered in a string. So because null character indicate, it means end of string. So here test is nothing but our string. So here test is our string. So now let's start counting from the first character of string. So whenever we start the counting first character of string, it must be counted with index size 0. So here s1 of 0 is nothing but string index size 0, then s1 of 1 string index size 1, then s1 of 2 string index size 2, then s1 of 3 is string index size 3, and s1 of 4 it means index size of string 4, and at last slash 0 it means terminated string, and slash 0 it means that here end of the string. Now let's start the algorithm step for the finding length of string. So step number 1, length is equals to 0, and whenever we start the finding length of string with the character, then repeat step number 3 while s1 length does not given the value null. Then length plus 1 and return length. So this is our algorithm step. Then here question number 3, concatenation of two string to form a new string with its algorithm. It means we have a two different string, and these two different string concate and make a one new string. It's known as a concate string. So this operation is used to concate. It means combine two string and make a new string. In order to merge two string, first we have to copy all character from first string into new string until null character is encountered in the first string, and after then copy of all character from second string into new string. We have to copy this all character of the second string into new string until it's also given the null character is to uncounted in this second string. So thus the concatenation of through string is similar to the copy of the string and then make a new string. So here the algorithm step, so you have to follow this algorithm step. So dear all students, you have to following this step for the concatenation string, and note that here keep in your mind you can also make yourself algorithm step regarding the concatenation string, but first of all you have to prepare a clearly concept about this string, and then you have to make yourself algorithm step. So now next the question number 4, reversing string. So reversing string, this operation is used to reverse the given string. In order to reverse a given string, first we have to find out length of given string, and then once length of the string is found, we can start copying character from one end of given this string into new string to produce the reverse of this string. So dear all students, this all reversing string, concate this string, find the length of string, this all concept we have to declare already in a video lecture. So you have to prepare this algorithm step easily from the video lecture. So go on my channel, so you can easily understand about this algorithm step easily in mind. And then copy string. So copy one string into another string. This operation is used to copy all character of one string into another string. It's known as a copy string. So this is a copy string algorithm step. Then compare string. So this one is a compare string step. Then converting lower to uppercase. This question is not necessary. It's optional. This question never asked in GTU exam, so this question is not important for the example and exam. Then this one is a very most IMP program for the GTU exam. Write a C program for finding a length. So this one is our practically performance about the finding length of string, and this program is the very most IMP question regarding our GTU exam. And this copy string program also very most IMP program for the GTU. So this one program about copy string, and at last explain put and get character function. So this character function very most IMP for the GTU exam, put character function and get character function. So this one is a put character function and get character function. So dear all students, this one is nothing but our the chapter number 2 question answer regarding our GTU exam. I hope you all easily understand about this question answer. Okay, thank you.